While this is taking place, Britney Griner comes out and says, I am so sick and tired of the NBA, WNBA. It used to be a peaceful, small little thing. Now there's crowds screaming, hollering. This is disruptive. It's not allowing us to play the game. This is her quote. I don't know if you saw this or not.
Patrick Bet-David just dropped a harsh reality check on his podcast. Britney Griner made bold remarks about Caitlin Clark, hinting at racial undertones, and it instantly set off a big conversation.
From 41. What the hell is going on with WNBA that they cannot handle all this attention that they're getting, as well as the hate and...
But PBD didn't let it slide. He brought up her time in a Russian prison and shut down her complaints about loud fans. It was a ruthless response, and the most satisfying part was either him reminding Griner where she's been, or hearing him explain why she should appreciate any attention the WNBA can get.
I'd have fun with you. Britney Griner... what she says, right there, watch this. Every time we play her, there's this commotion, like this loud rumbling from the stands. Turns out it's people, thousands of them, just sitting there.
Let's be straight about what went down on Patrick Bet-David's show. Britney Griner got hit with a serious wake-up call while she was complaining about crowd noise and throwing in subtle racial hints about Caitlin Clark. PBD pointed out a few hard truths she seemed to forget after being away from the game. It started when Griner said the WNBA used to feel calm and quiet, like you could bring a laptop and work during games. Think about that. A pro athlete upset because fans are loud and actually into the game. That's wild. And it sounds even worse when you remember who it's coming from.
To be a chill, quiet place, you could bring your laptop and relax, maybe even get a little work done. But now, it's like there's large gatherings of people watching us from the stands. Some of them are yelling crazy shit about what they're seeing, putting unfair pressure on us to score, like we're there for their entertainment. You are! The whole thing is toxic. I saw a guy with his daughter in the crowd, both of them yelling, couldn't hear what they were saying exactly, but it was either my performance or some light racism.
Griner said WNBA games used to be laid back and quiet, but now there are bigger crowds in the stands, with people reacting and yelling about what they see. She also complained about being expected to perform because people are there to be entertained. Here's the truth, Britney. That's exactly why you're there. That's what pro sports is. The most troubling part was when she talked about seeing a father and daughter yelling, saying she couldn't fully hear them, but decided it was either about her play or light racism. Light racism was her phrase for noise at a basketball game. The fact that her first guess was race says a lot about how she's viewing all of this. Patrick Bet-David didn't hold back in response, and honestly, someone needed to say it. He reminded people that Griner was in a Russian prison not long ago, locked up overseas, facing serious charges, and brought home through a prisoner swap that meant releasing an arms dealer known as the Merchant of Death.
Britney Griner was in a Russian prison. You would think that somebody who is now free, back in America on home soil, would not have too much to complain about. Especially something like this.
That trade brought Griner back by swapping for Victor Bout, a man convicted of plotting to kill Americans and helping terrorists. That's who the U.S. government let go to get Britney Griner home.
It doesn't matter what sport you are. It doesn't matter what sport you pick. That's how fans act in every arena. In every arena. So, and then when you, clearly she's not remembering who they let out to get her back.
The Merchant of Death.
The Merchant of Death. An arms dealer that wanted to kill American citizens.
After getting back to the United States, free again, and able to play the game she loves in front of excited fans, her reaction was to complain that the arenas are too loud. PBD's point hit hard, but it made sense. You'd expect someone who lived through jail in a foreign country to see freedom and opportunity differently. The fact that Griner views loud, passionate crowds as annoying instead of motivating makes her seem out of touch and ungrateful. And the timing makes it worse, because she said this while the WNBA is growing faster than ever in popularity and money. For the first time, the league is being talked about as reaching $1 billion level. And a huge part of that rise is tied to the attention Caitlin Clark has brought to women's basketball. That's what makes Griner's comments feel especially disrespectful. She's mad about the very thing that's helping her and every player earn more than ever. Bigger crowds, louder arenas, real excitement. That energy leads to more revenue, stronger TV deals, and better pay across the league. The racial hints in her comments are a major problem because they show what some players are really upset about with Clark's success. It's not just about skill or stats. It's the reality that a young white player is getting mainstream spotlight that many black stars never got, even after years of great play. PBD addressed that directly by saying race may play a role in some of the attention, but he also made it clear Clark is good enough to earn it either way. She finished 4th in MVP voting in her second year. Her style is fun to watch, it fits TV, and she plays with a kind of edge that casual fans connect with.
It says they want to get paid more. They're saying this year they're going to make $1 billion. That's what they're saying, okay? For the first time ever. Now that Caitlin Clark is hurt for 2 weeks, did you see ticket prices? Insane. Let me read you the ticket prices. After Caitlin Clark's been hurt for 2 weeks. All right? So let's go through this. Caitlin Clark absence is having an immediate impact beyond the court. According to data shared by Yahoo Sports via TickPick, prices for 2 specific Indiana Fever away games against the Chicago Sky and the Washington Mystics dropped sharply after Clark was sidelined. Before the injury, the lowest ticket available for Fever's matchup in Chicago was $86. For the game in Washington, fans needed at least $41 to get in. After the news of Clark's absence, those get-in prices fell to $25 from $86 and $14.
The ticket price examples PBD brought up make it obvious who is driving the WNBA surge. When Clark got hurt, prices for Indiana Fever games dropped fast. Chicago tickets fell from $86 to $25. Washington tickets fell from $41 to $14. That's not a small dip. That's what happens when the main draw is gone. Griner's complaints about noise sound even stranger when you remember most WNBA games were played in near-empty arenas for most of the league's history. Some players got used to that because it meant less pressure, fewer expectations, and no real demand from paying fans. Clark changed the atmosphere, and it's clear not everyone adjusted well. When Griner described the old WNBA as a place where you could bring a laptop and get work done, she accidentally explained why the league struggled for so long. Too many people treated it like a casual run instead of a product fans pay to see. That mindset is a big reason the WNBA lost money year after year. PBD's response worked because he didn't let Griner hide behind victim stories or race-based complaints. He pulled it back to basic facts. She was brought home from an international prison situation. Now she's free, playing in America, in a league making more money and getting more attention than ever. And she's upset that fans are actually engaged. His comparison to other pro sports made her argument look even weaker. In the NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL, loud crowds and hostile road games are normal. That's part of the job, not something athletes get special treatment for. Griner's view comes off like she wants the perks of being a pro athlete. Pay, fame, attention, without the pressure that comes from performing for real customers. That's not how any pro league works anywhere. Bringing up the Russian prison experience was harsh, but it showed how tone-deaf her complaints sounded. She lived through real limits on freedom and real consequences, and now she's using that spotlight to complain that Americans are loud at basketball games. PBD also talked about the bigger jealousy some players feel toward Clark. He said it's human to feel irritated when someone else gets the attention you think you earned. But he also reminded everyone this happens in every sport when a true breakout star shows up. His Michael Jordan example fit well because Jordan also faced resentment from players who thought he was getting too much credit. The Detroit Pistons even built a whole approach around stopping him physically and mentally. But that backlash happened because Jordan's impact was real, not because the media made it up.
And she wreaks havoc. She's the Rookie of the Year. She's 4th in the league in MVP voting. 4th in the league, her rookie year.
Wow.
Outstanding. She's like Steph Curry. She can pull up from anywhere. You understand? She has that kind of capability. Didn't win a national championship. Lost to LSU one year. Lost to South Carolina another year. But she's outstanding and clearly worthy of being the number 1 overall pick. And what I was saying to everybody is ride the wave. Rising tide lifts all boats. The girl is spectacular. It's not like she's not a scrub. She's not only can play, she's a star caliber player who draws this attention. And maybe it's because that fan base that she has and her being a young white.
Clark's impact is clear, and it shows up in real numbers. Ticket sales, TV ratings, merchandise money, and social media activity all point to the same thing. She brings value to the league in a way you can measure. Griner's talk about racial undertones and crowd reactions is a problem because it assumes bad intentions from fans who are simply excited to watch basketball. When you hear a father and daughter cheering and your first thought is racism, it shows a mindset that looks for conflict instead of seeing opportunity. This podcast conversation also exposed how unready some WNBA players were for real mainstream attention. For decades, the league operated with low pressure, limited criticism, and almost no public accountability. Clark's arrival changed that. Now there's real spotlight, real expectations, and real consequences based on performance. PBD's point about gratitude hit hard because it compared Griner's past situation in a Russian prison with what she has now. If you truly understand what it means to lose your freedom, you don't complain about fans being loud. You value every chance to compete, every moment you're safe, and every person who pays to watch you play. The WNBA's financial growth depends on keeping the kind of interest Clark helped create. If players push away casual fans by treating excitement like a problem and tossing around racism claims too easily, the league can slide right back to empty arenas and money losses. The timing of Griner's comments made it even worse because they came during the strongest financial run the league has ever had. Instead of building on momentum, she focused on what bothered her instead of what was clearly helping. Patrick Bet-David's business mindset made his take land even harder. He understands that fans are the customers, and customers drive revenue, and revenue pays salaries. Complaining about excited customers is like complaining that business is too good. It shows a basic misunderstanding of how pro sports actually works. The entertainment comparison also mattered. Singers don't get mad when crowds are loud at concerts. Actors don't complain when audiences react during a show. The whole job is to create emotion and energy, because that's what people pay for. Griner's attitude comes off like she wants the benefits of popularity without the pressure that comes with it. That's not realistic in sports or in any entertainment field. Race is a serious topic, and it matters in real life, but using it as a shield against criticism or as a shortcut explanation for market reality doesn't help anyone. Clark's success is backed by results, not just narratives. PBD's response worked because he didn't pretend race never exists, but he also didn't let it become an excuse to ignore obvious facts about fan interest and league economics. The prisoner swap reminder was powerful because it brought the stakes back into the room. The US government made a huge trade to bring Griner home. That alone should put everything else into perspective. Complaining about loud arenas and assuming racist motives from excited fans makes it sound like she doesn't fully grasp how rare and valuable her current situation is. Someone who truly appreciates that kind of second chance would treat every game as a privilege, especially when the stands are full and people care. That's the larger message PBD was pushing. Perspective over complaints. The WNBA fought for relevance and financial stability for a long time, and now that it's finally getting real attention, players should protect that momentum, not attack the very things that fuel it. PBD didn't soften his words because a lot of people felt the same way listening to Griner's comments. The mix of poor timing, lack of gratitude, and quick racial assumptions was hard to ignore, especially coming from someone who has lived through something most people can't imagine. In the end, PBD's point was simple. Gratitude matters more than grievances. While Griner focused on noise and assumptions, he delivered the blunt reality check she clearly wasn't expecting. The prison reference was harsh, but it forced perspective.